All right, so I'm in downtown El Paso, and we moved. So we moved from Minnesota. We were in Red Wing, Minnesota, and we moved to El Paso, Texas, which is kind of wild. So one of my coworkers kind of came across my YouTube channel, and he really liked it, and he asked me to do some more videos. So I'm out in downtown El Paso, and I'm gonna play around filming a little bit. And so when we were kind of researching El Paso, because there was that potential to move here, one thing that I was seeing overwhelmingly is that downtown is kind of boring. And I would greatly disagree. So my main hobby when I have spare time is photography. And downtown El Paso is just amazing for photography. You got a lot of investors pouring money into the city, and they are working on improving. Essentially, you've got a lot of old buildings that are in rough shape that are getting fixed up. And so I am standing across from a building called the Crest Building, and this is an example of that. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. This building's amazing. So I love the details and architecture here. This is an old department store, so it's actually the original Five and Dime. And if you know Minnesota, you know Prince, kind of, most likely, and you know Raspberry Beret, working part-time at the Five and Dime. So this is the original Five and Dime store, and this would be an example of one of the buildings that's just kind of in disrepair. And you have a big chunk of downtown that's been reinvested, and then you have a big chunk that's in disrepair. But the good news is there's a lot of revitalization happening. And so some of these buildings are really, really cool to photograph. And this is one of my favorites. There's a lot of cool stuff there to look at. So we've been here like 4 months. And yeah, we're really digging it. So really cool place for photography. And just the people here are super, super friendly. So here's a real nice restaurant. This is another kind of cool example. So you've got this restaurant, really, really nice dining, but above it, you have this building that's all it's kind of in a state of disrepair, but this is another building they're working on. You got another spot there where they're putting in a restaurant. I'm saying they. I think you have a bunch of hotels and stuff like that down here that have been revitalized beautifully. I did kind of a panning shot of those. So there's plenty of food downtown, anywhere from like your small markets and delis, all the way to upscale dining. I'm going to walk down the road here a little bit and show a little bit of this kind of transitional area. This road is one road over from the road that leads directly to the U.S.-Mexico border. That road's really cool because you got a lot of really small shops and stuff there. And then as you walk here, you start to kind of see what used to be. So you see a lot of boarded up storefronts. So this is, I would say an area that hasn't been revitalized yet. But I wouldn't be surprised, if the businesses downtown do well, and if that investment has a good enough return, you may see that expanding further into the city. Then over here you've got, kind of the same thing, that building. Now I'm gonna walk down here and kind of show this building. There's a couple buildings down here of note that I want to show. No, it's kind of just crazy to look at all this stuff and to think of what it used to be like in like the 1930s. kind of in its heyday. So one building of note is that one there. Just a beautiful building that's fallen into disrepair. So it'll be interesting to see if something eventually gets done to that building. All these old buildings here are really beautiful. Then kind of speckled throughout, you'll see building here and there that's been revitalized. So there is that effort happening throughout. But you have that main hub kind of by those big hotels, the Paso del Norte, the Plaza. A lot of effort there and a lot of money has gone in there. This building up here, the white one, that's another one of note. Sounds to me like that's getting revitalized also. Looks like they're going to be throwing apartments in there. And this building's always kind of piqued my interest. I've walked by it a couple times and taken some photographs, but looks like they've kind of turned it into a little art spot. Yeah. So, yeah, building's pretty cool there. Then we kind of walk through a little transition up here again. Yeah, see, more remnants of businesses. This looks like it used to be a jewelry store, department store. And then you get up to some classic buildings up there that are revitalized. There's a few different signs all around. See a little old theater over here. And we've got some kind of cool buildings up here I'll show also. Let's wait till I can safely cross. So yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see, if money starts getting put into some of these buildings. I saw some guys going into this building. You can see they're framing some stuff out, so it's looking like something's going to go in there. In that building, you can tell they've, some people have worked on that one. It's looking kind of remodeled. It's kind of a cool alley there. Then we got some businesses in these buildings, which is pretty cool. You kind of see that speckled throughout the city. So, little by little, something else, an applicant, occupancy certificate. Used to be a toy store in there. This is a really good coffee shop here, District Coffee. And then we got a good seafood restaurant. This building's amazing. Check that out. I love that one. There's a restaurant there called La Mez. And this one, pretty neat building. They fixed it up. Another restaurant there, Lapa Lapa. Looks like there's a little snack shop in here. It's just there. It's really cool, and the vibes here are just different. It's like, oh yes, look at this van. That's amazing. Little cave in. I love these fire escapes. Really cool. And I've only gone so far, so there's a lot of this stuff that I haven't seen yet. Looks like they're doing some painting at the tattoo shop here. Hey. There's a couple tattoo shops downtown. This one looks really nice. And then that's kind of where I came from over there. And over here, a little bit of the same, you know, just cool old buildings. Check those guys out. My goodness, they got a loaf of bread. Then over here, we got some bars and stuff. The tap's supposed to be really good. All my coworkers like it. Then there's a La Bang Bang. They do Detroit style pizza. I've gotten that before. So yeah. Kind of a little snippet of downtown El Paso. Oh, this building is cool. Check that out. It looks very municipal. Must be a courthouse. I think actually that's a big glass one there is a city building. That very brutalist one there is a city building. That one's awesome. And then this one is also a city building. I'll actually walk around and see if I can get a better view of that brutalist one. All right, so I haven't really walked over here before, so this is a new little block for me. But with my job, I work downtown, and I have a free parking pass, so yeah, it makes it easy to come down here with my camera and do photography downtown. And there's just all these features down here, kind of mixed between new, beautiful, restored, and old, aged, in disrepair, and all of them are very fun to photograph. So really, photography wise, it really is kind of a photographer's dream down here for sure. Ooh, look at that tree. That's cool, huh? It's got a little old church over here. So this is kind of where I'm at. I guess I would say, you know, let me know if you want to see more videos, you know, downtown, I guess exploration in the desert. There's a lot of cool stuff around here, a lot of national parks, a lot of really neat places to go. So kind of the sky's the limit. And I when I go out, I tend to just take my camera out and go hiking and take some pictures, and that's about it. But I do feel that doing a little vlogging here and there might be kind of fun, and throwing a little bit of stuff up on the YouTube channel might be fun. So there's historic signs all over the place. So I definitely have to go out and do a little bit more exploration. Kind of see what the story is down here. This church is really cool though. That smaller building on the right is really interesting. I'll have to see if I can go inside there sometime. Well, yeah, the weather here, it can get really hot, of course, but it's pretty mild. The big events that happen here are dust storms, so once the wind picks up, it gets pretty brutal, and you can see it from satellites. Like, you can get satellite images of the desert just being a big old dust cloud, so it can be a little wild. So yeah, pretty cool architecture through and through. Hey. The other thing I would say is the sunsets here are just, they're unreal. So it would take months sometimes to get a really epic sunset in Minnesota. And it's like, if it's not dust stormy, it's pretty much every night here. So it's pretty incredible to see the beauty here. And it's just, that's another example, like just kind of down this alley, you've got that building that I shown earlier with the fire escapes, and it's kind of cool. You just everywhere you look, there's interesting stuff to photograph. So it's been really fun. You know, it was very hard to find inspiration back where I was in Minnesota with my photography. Everything there is pretty closed in. Not a lot of elevation. That's the other thing I didn't mention. You know, it's completely surrounded by mountains here, so this street's really cool to look down. It's really cool buildings. But yeah, back in Minnesota, it was, you know, you're pretty flat, even though I was in the Blufflands. You don't have a ton of big, expansive views other than just views of big fields. And there just wasn't a lot interesting. So, you know, kind of by nature, you tend to gravitate towards photography styles like, you know, long exposure, macro, et cetera, but really getting out and being able to just, you know, kind of instinctually shoot a bunch of buildings or architecture, and plus with all the mountains and everything around here, you know, getting out and getting really big, broad landscapes is fairly easy also. So it really is a fun place to have photography as a hobby. And there's a fairly large photography club here. There's a few of them actually, so that's kind of fun. This Wells Fargo building is pretty cool. I think they might be leaving this location. Pretty cool. We've got the other side of that building that I mentioned I really like. It's got fire escapes on the backside. Yeah, it's kind of electric building there. That one's really big. And just buildings galore down the road too. One thing I will note, this is not the most bicycle-friendly city. There's not a lot of bike trails, so coming from Minnesota, which is very bicycle-friendly, that part's a little different. I almost feel like I should sell my bicycles, at least my road bikes, because I'm not sure if I'm going to use them living here. I wonder what that is. A loft? Looks like a restaurant. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of restaurants downtown. There's a good view of that building. O.T. Bassett Tower, it's called. Really cool. The front end of it is so neat. That one's probably my favorite building right now. Downtown. But they're all really cool. So anyways, quick little update, quick little tour downtown. And yeah, pretty cool area to me.